And we are live.
Dirty. You dirty.
We are live.
She did be like that.
Y'all know this is about to be lit. This
All
is
the
exciting
way.
time.
All the way.
You know what? This is a great day, and I want to say it. Happy 4th Eve, as they say. Happy 4th Eve. Happy 4th Eve, everybody. Happy 4th Eve. So we're gonna get straight into this here in a little bit. But if you are tuning in and you are looking at the description of this live session, is Mastering Documentation, the second pillar of leadership in network marketing. We have went over the first pillar of leadership, and that was loyalty. So we're gonna dive into this one today. So as we explore the second pillar of leadership in network marketing, documentation, learn why keeping accurate records is crucial for tracking progress, maintaining transparency, and achieving success. Discover practical strategies for effective documentation and hear real-life examples of how it can transform your network marketing business. Don't you miss it. And if you miss it, you got the replay, right? So if you are tuning in live and you are watching live, if you would for us, put in hashtag live and let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you are on the replay, hashtag replay and let us know where you're tuning in from. So we're going to get right on into this. Let me put my screen together over here. So, and again, hello and welcome to today's live session. We will be diving into the second pillar of leadership in network marketing, documentation. Documentation is a vital aspect of any successful network marketing business. It helps track progress, maintain transparency, and ensure accountability, right? So, Miss Wanda, if you would please, before we go into this, let me say who I am, because y'all know I'll be on the move. I am Shakita, and I'm tuning in from the great state of Texas. And Miss Wanda, let the audience know where you chiming in or tuning in from.
Great afternoon, evening, everyone. My name is Wanda, and I'm tuning in from the best state, South Carolina.
She said the best state. The best state. So, but anyway, Ms. Wanda, what is documentation in network marketing? Should I ask, or may I ask?
Oh, yes, darling. Documentation in network marketing involves systematically recording and organizing information related to your business activities. You make sure you document everything. You keep perfect track of your business. That means your numbers, your prospects, the people that are on your team. I have a blue book, a notebook of all my business partners, every last one of them. I have it on my calendar when they started, everything, because those are some milestone points that you can point out. And you keep very good detailed records of them. I always have their birthdays wrote down, how many kids they got, grandkids. It's very important to build. You building, and you talking about the second pillar. The first one we talked about last night was loyalty. And this is all coming together as one. You will see how it involves everything together. Now, the importance of the documentation, right? Is proper documentation provides a clear and accurate picture of your business, which is essential for decision making and strategy planning. Okay, a lot of people on my team wasn't on the same page, on the same level that everybody was at. Some had different ones, and some was way out there. But as a leader, I had to set my boundaries, know what to say when we're all in one setting, and how to be transparent when talking to certain ones. Okay, that builds it up right there. That builds it up, because you got to make sure that you keep documentation right by their name, make it intimate and personal with them. And that is a good way, and that is the definition of of documentation and the importance of documentation. Shakita, you want to chime on in, huh?
Well, I mean, I like what you said about, keeping proper records of each team member, logging in, when they started, pretty much they're who they are, and being able to chime in, and celebrate them on their birthdays, and and like I said, those milestones. So I really thought that was a really good point about strategically planning and making. I mean, that's part of strategically planning and keeping records and being completely organized. So, but no, I don't have anything to add to that other than I definitely am in alignment and I agree with that. I affirm, right? I affirm. So, uh, so why documentation is important? Tracking progress. So that's one of the things Ms. Wanda just said. Keeping records. She keeps a book with all that information in it. So documentation helps you monitor your progress, right? Identify trends and measure the effectiveness of your strategies, right? So by keeping those by keeping track of your sales, your recruits, your recruitment, right? She just said that, and your training activities, right? You can see what's working and what needs improvement. I mean, so it's important to document, and as we spoke about, loyalty, and as we talk about leaders and things like that, this is important for what a leader must do. You know what I'm saying? Right. Track that stuff. Track it. Like Miss One, I'll be telling you, so I'm tracking. so,
For sure.
so maintain transparency. Transparent documentation builds trust with your team and customers by showing that you are organized and accountable.
And
What I know you said something. So that part, okay. So, and the thing is, we have to be organized. We cannot, hear me, we cannot be all over the place. I mean, not knowing, be sure that you remain organized and accountable. So sharing your documented business plans and achievements with your team fosters a culture of transparency and trust. So say it again, share your documented business plans and achievement with your team fosters a culture of transparency and trust. So you want to make sure that, we all in this transparency relationship, right? So in ensuring accountability, clear documentation. Then you know what? We're gonna hear accountability throughout this whole process. Throughout the whole process, we're gonna hear accountability. We're gonna hear lead by example. We're gonna hear consistency. We're gonna hear all these things continuously.
all of it.
Clear documentations holds everyone accountable for their roles and responsibilities, right? So so when tasks and goals are documented, it's easy to track who is responsible for what and ensure that deadlines are met, right? Kind of sort of talked about that a little bit today. Kind of a little bit. But anyway, and let's talk about legal and compliance. Proper documentation ensures you comply with legal and regulatory requirements, protecting your business from potential issues. And sometimes if you have to go back over and over and over and watch the compliance, read the compliance to make sure you stay in compliance, that your business remain active. Because the moment you go against compliance, you're no longer with a business. So you want to protect your business from potential issues. So make sure you're not being the issue. Okay. So maintaining accurate financial records and contracts can help you avoid legal complications later. So Ms. Wanda, do you have anything you'd like to add into that? But before, I see that we do have someone on here. And if you would, let us know where you're tuning in from. We appreciate it. And if you have anything you'd like to add, just let us know in the comments. But go ahead, Ms. Wanda.
You know, ensuring accountability, being trans, being transparent, being transparent, but ensuring accountability. That just stuck out to me. That's a mouthful right there. Ensuring accountability. When tasks and goals are documented, it's easier to track when who is responsible for what and ensuring that deadlines are met. So, with that being said, everybody got a role to play on that team. So, if you play your role, everything will move speedily and quickly, and the team will be able to sustain through the storms and the weather if everybody knows their role. Okay, I got we ain't gonna do that today, but we're gonna talk about some types of documentation. We're gonna talk about the first one. The first type is sales records. Sales records. Y'all saw my big blue book. Okay. Sales record. Keep detailed records of your sales transactions, including customer information, products sold, and payment details. You must do that using a CRM system to log each sale helps you track customer preference and follow up on future sales opportunities. And our business does that for us. We just go and create. See, the website is already there for us. So it's easy to track your business and your sales. And when you get your commission, that's all it is right there. That's all it is. Everything is given to you. Only thing you got to do is just put it in. And you really ain't got to put it in because they can go and put it in. But it's already there. The tool is already there. Recruitment logs. That's part of my big blue book. I love it. 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 Because with my recruitment logs, document your recruitment efforts, including the names of prospects, dates of contact, and outcomes. Okay, by mine, I got okay, not right now. Okay, start date, got that. On my calendar, got that. Everything is in alignment with everything that's in my blue book. So that means I'm keeping a detailed record. A recruitment log can help you identify which recruitment strategies are most effective. Right now, my most recruiting status is I'm getting to know my business better. I'm getting to go deep in, elbow deep in it. Okay? Because the things that I was doing wasn't working. So I had to educate myself and so I could bring value and know what I'm talking about when I'm speaking. Okay? That is very, very detailed and very important. And then we're going to talk about training and development. Record the training sessions. Record the training sessions you conduct, including the topics covered, attendees, and feedback. That's what we're doing right now. Because when we're doing this live, we're asking for the feedback. We're asking for the participation. We're asking for because we're not only doing things for us, we're doing things for all of us so that we can all grow and learn together. And that's the important thing because documentation of training helps you assess the impact of your training programs and identify areas for improvement. So we all need some improvements. Maybe we could do it better. Maybe you got a topic you want to hear us talk about or get our feedback on. We want the same thing from you. We want your feedback. You want ours, well, we want yours too. And that's the way you build. That's the way you communicate and you speak clearly. And remember, no question is a dumb question. All questions have value. Okay. Now we're going to have meeting minutes. Keep minutes of your team meetings, noting key discussions, decisions, and action items. We used to do this all the time. Every week, I'm writing. every week. We did it. We did it. We consistently did it. What can we do better at the next week? What can we do better in the future? Do we need to switch anything? What works for everybody? And see, it was everybody's voice mattered. Then you're going to meeting minutes provides a reference for future meetings and ensure that everyone is on the same page. And I can't stress that enough. Ain't no I in team. So when we all came together, we was a team. Even though we met at my home, guess what? Everybody had a partake in what our strategy would be for the rest of the week, for the upcoming week. Everybody voice mattered. We put it all on the table and we discussed it. I didn't make no call because my sponsor was with me. So I ain't made no call. What you think? What you think? I just opened my door so we could all be on one accord and get to the nitty gritty of things. So your financial records, that's in my blue book. That's in my blue book. I got that on a flash drive too. That's what I'm talking about because financial records maintain accurate financial records, including income, expenses, and profit margins. That's very important because you can look back and you can calculate what I didn't do this 3 months. I was doing this last year, 3 months this time. Why are you doing this? Then that means that you got to re-strategize because what you did last year, you ain't doing this year. So that's not your income ain't matching up as the same as last year. So you got to re-strategize. You got to revisit. You got to revive. You got to go forward. And you got to make it grow and work for you. Because an example of that, detailed financial documents helps you manage your budget and plan for growth. Now we getting down to the nitty gritty because they're going to make you maintain, and plan for financial growth. Going to plan for growth, but they're going to maintain your budget. Some of us don't do that, and by the time that we just in the 7th month, we already hollering we broke. But I ain't going to say that. I'm wealthy because you got to learn to plan and budget. Plan and budget. Everybody can't do like everybody else, but plan and budget. Shakita, you could go ahead and chime on in, honey. I see Catrice on it.
So actually, there is no need for me to even tap into that because you explained it very thoroughly. Okay, so
Oh,
but we do want to thank Latrice for tuning in with us, and she's coming from the great state of Colorado. Thank you so much for
who was that again?
where you from, huh?
Who was that again?
Catrice, Catrice,
Okay, okay.
Catrice. You see it? Okay. All right. And if you're tuning in, if you can, just drop in the comments where you tuning in from. We appreciate it. And so we are talking about the second pillar of leadership, which is documentation. So we're going to go ahead and get into strategies for effective documentation. And there's that word again. We're going to hear this over and over and over again. Consistency. Ensure that your documentation practices are consistent across all areas of your business. And basically, use standardized templates for record sales, recruitment, and training activities. That is so important. We want to remain consistent with all that. I'm not going to get too deep into it because we on limited time tonight. So I'm not going to get too deep into it, but we're going to go ahead and go into the next thing, accessibility. Make your documentation easily accessible to those who need it, right? So basically, store documents in a shared digital space like Google Drive or Dropbox. You was having a problem today, right? So your team can access them anytime. So and that is the two of the easiest ways to basically be able to share information that everybody can access it without, you having to say, okay, send it to each individual person, but give them access to, that Google Drive or that Dropbox, and they can just go get everything there. So we actually use another app called Boards, and that's where we all get information from. But that's put in the Boards app. So if you have like apps like that, that is also a good one as well. But this one right here, Google Drive, that's one that doesn't cost you much. Okay, doesn't cost you anything unless you need more space. Dropbox, I believe they have a free version or a trial version, but again, that one right there, it doesn't. It's not very much on that one either. Thank you, Mystic Diamond. That's my girl right there. Thank you for joining all the way from the DFW. Yes, yes, up in Texas. Like say everything big in Texas, y'all.
Yeah.
That is my girl. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. That is Mystic Diamond. That's it, right? Diamond.
Hey.
All right, all right, all right. And going into the next thing is regular updates. Regular updates update your documentation to keep it current and accurate. And that's just is what it is. So meaning that set aside time each week to review and update your records. So again, it's time management. So you got to set aside time to make sure that your records are updated. Make sure everything is good. Review, 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 review. Right. And so use technology basically to leverage your digital tools and software to streamline your documentation. I'm telling you, look, it makes life easy when you're using digital tools. I love digital tools. I'm just a tool person. I love systems. So basically, you can use something like a CRM system, a project management tool, and a accounting software to automate and organize your records. So some especially in network marketing, it just depends on who your company is. Some have CRM tools in their back office. But then there's CRM tools that are outside. I mean, I use a CRM tool such as HubSpot, and I was using another one, but somehow another I don't have access to it no more. But there's like multiple CRM tools out there that are not that expensive to do exactly what you need to do, right? And also project management tools. So, Ms. Wanda, do you have anything that you would like to add into strategies for effective documentation?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It ain't broke. Don't
Don't
fix it.
fix
I'll just go. No, that ain't that ain't the song that I had in my head. But anyway, Miss Wanda,
it.
if you would please, let's go into these real life examples and success stories.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, okay, okay. Y'all know I love it. I love it because tonight we're going to talk about Maria's, my friend Maria, and my friend James, and my friend Lisa. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about my peeps. These are my peeps, y'all. Maria, meticulous documentation of her sales and recruitment activities helped her identify friends and optimize her strategies, leading to a 30% increase in her team's performance. Okay, her documentation of her sales. Remember, I said earlier, keep a documentation of your sales. Okay, last year by July, I done made this much. This year by July, I made this much. Last year, this much. Last year, this much. This much. This year, this much. So I can know now in between what I didn't do that I did last year. So what I didn't do was last year, I didn't know what all I needed to know, and I didn't grow as much as I grow. Now I'm growing. Now I'm pushing myself and getting in as much as I can get in. So when the overflows trickle down, it's trickling down, and I'm gonna be ready for it. Doing like my friend Marie, she took her time and she documented. She put her documentation down. Then she read over her documentation. and she kept going back over her documentation. Then she strategized with it. And now she done made 30% more for her whole team, 30% more. And that's what you want to do. That strong foundation, that consistency, that transparency, all that rolls into one. And then James, now James showed out on me, okay? James implemented a standardized documentation system for his team, okay? He already implemented a strategy for the team. He documented this for the team, not for James alone, but for the team. And when he did that, which improved the transparency and accountability, resulting in higher team, more and productivity. When you being a leader like James did, James put his big drawers on and he stood up. He made each member be accountable for their own action. He said he didn't breastfeed, he don't know how to breastfeed. So he said, you got to stop breastfeeding. You got to clip them wings and let them fly. You can't keep covering up for them. You got to stand tall and be firm. And once he did that, look how the team grow. Look how their productivity grow. Because each person got to be accountable for themselves. Nobody can be accountable for grown folks. And I felt James on that. You get always worry yourself about grown folks. They got the information. The documentation is there. Only thing they got to do is practice themselves, keeping documentation their self. Write down what they want. Keep a journal. We started on our journals on the first. So we writing in our journal. We writing in our journal and we documenting. We documenting our thoughts. We documenting our strategies of where we want to be. You put that into motion, everything else gonna work together. And then we're gonna talk about Lisa, my girl. Lisa's accurate. Heard what I said. Her accurate financial documentation allowed her to secure a business loan. A business loan, enabling her to expand her network marketing business. Okay, so I ain't with all that loan, but it worked good for Lisa because it expand her network marketing. My business is going to take care of me. Okay, my business is going to take care of itself. Therefore, I just got to follow the blueprint and keep my documentation and stay in tune with my team. When I say stay in tune with my team, that means that I'm holding each and every one accountable for their own actions. I'm not going to hold their hands. I'm going to walk with them. We're going to walk together. We all walk at the same pace. Okay, because a lot of times when we messed up at, we don't keep that documentation. Oh, I did some training. When did you do that? It's on the calendar. What date we did it? Who all was there? Who all was present? Who all was working? This is the kind of stuff and the leaders that I'm looking for because that was me. The date, the time, and everything. You got to put the documentation in action and let it work for you. Because Maria did it, James did it, and Lisa did it. Now Wanda's on her way to doing it because Wanda did messed up a lot because Wanda didn't know all this valuable information. But Wanda learning and growing. So now I can implement it with my teammates, then let them run with their own documentation. Long as it's a documentation that they can follow by, let them run with. Shakita, come on in, huh?
All right, all right. Actually, I love those examples. I love those stories, and you tell them so good. But no, I really don't have anything to add to that because, like I said, you nailed it. When it comes to these stories, I mean, and how Maria, James, and Lisa handled their documentation in all these different areas was like solid. It was definitely solid. Yeah, excuse my background. I got the little people over here. Uh,
I love it.
but we're going to go ahead and get into overcoming challenges in documentation. And the biggest thing that I would say that we have challenges with is time management. That is a big one. We have to find time to document and document. Finding time to document can be challenging. It definitely can be challenging. I'm like, for real, for real. Yeah. My present. Come here. Y'all hold on right quick. Give me a second. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, so finding time to document can be challenging. So schedule regular intervals to update your records. Don't try to do everything all at one time because it will definitely become overwhelming. And that's the last thing that you want to do, because when you become overwhelming, 9 times out of 10, you won't get nothing done. You're going to keep putting it off and putting it off. So find time to document, schedule regular intervals to update your records. So to say, set about 15 minutes at the end of each day to document your activities. Just 15 minutes. That's all it's going to take. It's just 15 minutes. So let's talk about consistency again. There we are with consistency again. We can't get away from it, right? Maintain consistency can be difficult, and it can be, right? Because if we don't have a time management set in place, then we're definitely not going to be consistent because we're going to be all over the place, right? So develop and stick to a documentation routine. So set those routines in place. I mean, and you think about it, you have certain routines that you do every single morning. So when it comes to documenting, slide that in too, right? Slide that in as well. So basically what you can do is create a checklist of documentation tasks to complete each week. That would definitely kind of help you with staying consistent. So you want to train your team to ensure your team understands the importance of documentation and knows how to do it correctly. So you want to make sure your team, so whatever you're doing, teach your team to do the same thing. So everybody, like, Miss Wanda said earlier, everybody be on the same page, right? So what you do is you want to provide training sessions on effective documentation practices and tools, right? So yeah. So Ms. Wanda, did you have anything you want to add to overcoming challenges in documentation?
Yeah. Well, look, that time management, I just thought about it. As I told you, I said, I'm going to wash my hair. I'll be back at 15. And I thought about it. You got time? Okay. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to go ahead and get on your line. Let's say that's time management, but consistency. That consistency. Consistency. No matter what, if it's documented down on the book and the calendar, do it. We as leaders, we must stick to our documentation, our calendars. It's a must to stick to it. If you're the only one that's showing up, stick to it. Go forward with it. Don't make excuses for people, because a good friend of mine, my BP, say excuses are lies. And stop saying you can't and you can. Ain't nothing that you can't do, but you got to take the first step of being consistent. Don't show up when it's convenient for you. Show up to go up. Okay? Show up to go up. Not when it's convenient for you. You must be consistent in doing this. You must practice consistency no matter what. You must practice consistency because people are watching. They're not going to be on a team with somebody that keep changing and backing out, changing and backing out. Call the play, run the play, and stay consistent with it. And training your team. Train your team. Don't let your team train you. Because remember, it's a reason why you're the leader. So You train your team and show them the documentation, and don't let your team train you and show you what they want to show you.
Man, look, you said a mouthful right there. Train your team and don't let your team train you. Look, that was a look. Yeah. So with that being said, I just want to give a quick shout out to those who gave us some love on this live. Mr. Malcolm Kidd, J.W. Denton, Thomas Robinson, thank you so much. Mr. Diamond and Tawanda Jupiter, we appreciate you guys. And if you are tuning in, if you can just let us know where you're tuning in from, we really appreciate it. But we are up to the Q&A session right now. So we're going to open up the floor to your questions about documentation and network marketing. Whether you're curious about specific documentation strategies, tools, or any other aspect of documentations, we're here to help you. So if you're on here and you would like to do that live, the floor is yours. If you are watching on the replay, you can do the same thing and just drop those comments there, and we'll be back on there to respond to them if we're not responding to them live tonight. So, I like to do my countdown. So I'm counting down in my head, y'all. So with that being said, we have no one to comment, but as we wrap up, we got Miss Shonda tuning in from Louisiana. That is, and look, look, y'all, that's our director. We appreciate you supporting us. So we
Yes.
appreciate gonna give a director a shout out. Maybe one day we can get her on here.
Yes.
Maybe one day we can get her on here. But yes, this is our director here, Miss Shonda Frost, tuning in all the way from Louisiana. Thank you so much again. We appreciate you. But also, like I said, as we wrap up, we want to encourage you to implement these strategies for effective documentation in your network marketing business. And remember, love you too. Love you. Yes.
Yeah. The big one.
Yeah. So yes. So y'all had to cut out for a second, but can't let that go unnoticed. But again, remember, documentation is essential for tracking progress, maintaining transparency, and ensuring accountability. So we want to thank you all for joining us on today, and we hope that you found this session valuable. And we look forward to seeing you succeed with documentation as a fundamental pillar of your network marketing business. And also, I would like to add, if you found value, do share, and also. If you're not following us, we ask that you follow us and we'll follow you back. And one other thing, on Sunday, we will be doing a business overview about what it is that we do. We don't talk about much what we do, is because that's not what we're doing. That's not why we're here. But if you would like to know what we are doing in our business, we invite you on Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can get with me or Miss Wanda, and we can give you access to that overview. So, Miss Wanda, did you have any closing thoughts before we get out of here? Oh, one thing, y'all, hold on. I want to say happy 4th to you guys, but we will be back on here tomorrow, even though it's support, because we gotta stay consistent. But anyway, go ahead, Miss Wanda.
Hey, director, I love you too. I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all. So, with that being said, happy 4th of July, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow for as we go into the third pillar. Okay, be blessed.
Yes, and so that you be aware, that third pillar will be competitive spirit, y'all. That's what we're gonna be talking about, a competitive spirit. So with that being said, you all have a great 4th of July, and we will see you on tomorrow. Have a divine night.